Do you have your emergency induction pour drink ready? Good, because we are going to be figuring out who these 4 characters are, and quite honestly, it might be an emergency. I mean, just looking at this dude gives me serious Teletubby vibes. Minus the weird circle thing on top of their head, but you get my point. We are going to examine the Mudskipper, the planet, who the pharaohs these 4 characters could be, and go over my own guesses for who they most likely are. And our analysis won't be complete until we figure out whether this is indeed the new ship in the next Mass Effect. Alright, without further ado, let's dive into the picture. Let's start off with where this picture is even from. Longtime and former director of the Mass Effect games, Casey Hudson, wrote a blog post with this picture underneath back on N7 Day in 2020. The picture is also featured in the book Bioware Stories and Secrets from 25 Years of Game Development. The picture is near the end, located on the page that covers a look at the next Mass Effect. This was the first hint that Bioware teased about the next Mass Effect game, and it is a very, very intriguing hint. First, let's go over the Mudskipper. What even is a Mudskipper? Short answer, we don't actually know. The only reason we know it's called a Mudskipper is because when you download the image on the blog post, its default name is Mud-Skipper, followed by the dimensions of the picture. The designation on the side of it reads XT8. Which doesn't mean much to us right now, except for the designation system. It's just like the Normandy SR1 and 2, which matches the designation system used by the Systems Alliance of letter, letter, number. So, this is most likely a Systems Alliance ship. Looking at the structure of the Mudskipper, it doesn't seem very practical for much else besides transportation down to planets. And as seen in the teaser trailer, this further confirms the theory. The engines are fairly large, probably for entering and leaving planet atmospheres. The guns on top of the Mudskipper seem to be similar to the Mako's, and are probably used for protection from hostile flora and fauna like Veshermaws. So, knowing all this, could this be the primary ship used in the next Mass Effect game? Well, no, I don't think so. It's time for our first interpretation. Based on the structure alone, I'd guess that this is a ship primarily used for transportation on planets, similar to the Kodiak, but on a larger scale. Since it appears a bit larger than the Kodiak, I personally think that this might be considered both a transportation vehicle and a small base that a squad can return to when exploring planets. Just speaking from when I was playing Andromeda, it was extremely frustrating having to return to the Tempest every time I wanted to gather resources, talk to my squad mates, or send out strike teams. Hopefully with the Mudskipper, it's kind of a happy medium, where we can have access to whatever the primary ship has, but without having to leave the planet, load the ship scene, and then go do whatever we wanted to do. Of course, my interpretations might change as I examine all of the other hints that Bioware has dropped, so definitely take this one with a grain of salt. Or a whole ship full of salt. That would be ideal. Over the next few weeks, I will be diving into the other cryptic hints that Bioware has dropped, including the poster and the other N7 Day hints, so definitely subscribe if you want to see and discuss more of those. Alright, back to the picture. The second thing we're going to tackle is what planet they're on. And quite honestly, I have no idea, which I think might be the point. We've never landed on a planet in the original trilogy or Andromeda that resembled a hot desert with these strange liquid puddles. It might be Eos or Eladin, but I personally haven't seen the puddles on either planet, so I'm going to assume we don't know this planet yet. Do these 4 characters know where they are, or are they just hanging out on an unknown planet, living their best lives? So, who the pharaohs are these 4 characters? Before we get into who they could be, I want to establish something first, and that is how very deliberate Bioware has been with all of their hints and teasers. They released the teaser trailer in 2020, and then director Mike Gamble is talking about replaying the trilogy as research for the next title. They keep reiterating the veteran team that is returning for the next game. During the trailer, they are clearly hinting at Shepard's return. So, here's my speculation for where the Bioware team's mindset and thus messaging to the fans is at. By repeating the phrase veteran team, I think they're trying to reassure fans that the franchise is going to return to the level of excellence of the original trilogy. They know that the quality of storytelling that Andromeda had was not up to par, so they want us to feel that the next title will be more like the trilogy's level of storytelling. Mike Gamble tweeting that he's replaying the trilogy and the N7 armor reveal in the teaser trailer are other homages to the original trilogy. All of these hints and teasers are leading to one singular conclusion. The Milky Way and its characters are likely to return. Having Liara picking up a piece of N7 armor in the teaser trailer alone could tell you that. In my last video, I went over every detail that the teaser trailer had for us, And after watching the trailer over 100 times, I fully believe that the Milky Way characters are what the next title will center around. Again, pure speculation, but that is what I think as of this video. So, take 2. Who the Pharaohs are these 4 characters? Let's go from right to left. The character on the right appears to be a Solarian. The major Solarians that we know of across all the games are Captain Kirahi, Mordin, and Callow. In fact, he seems kind of familiar, but no, couldn't be. Moving on, the next character appears to be a Drell. The major Drells that we know of are Thane and Kolyat. You know, this profile kind of... no, not possible. Moving along again, the next character resembles an Angara. The major Angara characters that we know of are Jal, Moshae Sepha, and Ephra. This profile seems to very closely match that of Jal, who was one of the companions in Mass Effect Andromeda. Okay, wait. Why the Pharaohs is Jal here? And I'm sorry, can we just rewind a bit? This Solarian's profile exactly matches Mordin. That's literally his profile. And the Drell is obviously Thane's profile. But Thane is 100% dead, and Mordin is usually dead. So what the Pharaohs is happening? Does Lala know what's up? Jokes aside, I'm fairly certain that the last character we don't know of yet. And I don't think it's a Teletubby. I think. Their profile seems to resemble a human wearing a spacesuit, but it could very easily be a species we haven't encountered yet, so I'll leave their identity for a future video. Back to the other 3 profiles, what is going on here? Pivoting back to what I said before about the deliberateness of all of Bioware's teases, having these 3 specific profiles is not a coincidence. This picture is the first tease that the Bioware team released in a long time. I doubt that they were careless about anything in this picture, or any teases after as well. So, they aren't trying to get us hyped about random Solarian, Drell, and Angara companions. They're trying to get us hyped about these companions in particular. Now, I'll be going over how Jal could even be in the Milky Way in a separate video, so for now I'm just gonna focus on Mordin and Thane. Because let's be real, how the Pharaohs are they even alive? If you've watched my past 2 videos, you'll know that I've been floating the idea of the next game involving a multiverse. When I saw this picture for the first time, the multiverse theory started to form in my head. Again, this is based on the fact that Bioware had a lot of time to release this picture, and they deliberately put these 3 profiles in it. Then they released a teaser trailer implying that Shepard is being recovered by Liara on Alkera, the planet Shepard died on in Mass Effect 2. Having these deliberate profiles of 2 characters that have an extreme likelihood of dying in all playthroughs in the original trilogy lends even more credibility to the multiverse theory. Because if Shepard is being recovered in an alternate universe, why not recover Mordin and Thane too? So, who do these 3 characters resemble? Mordin, Thane, and Jal. And that's exactly who I think these 3 characters are. So are these 4 characters living their best lives? Well, yeah, because some of them are back from the dead, y'all. Or it could be complete laziness on Bioware's part, and they do want us to get excited about random Solarian, Drell, Angara, and spacesuit characters. But I know which theory I prefer. Maybe the N7 Day 2021 poster analysis will finally kill my multiverse theory. We'll have to wait and see in my next video. If you'd like to hear more insane theories, definitely check out this teaser trailer breakdown, which should appear somewhere over here unless there's bloopers. Until then, I'm Atharia, and this is my favorite franchise on the Citadel.
Logging you out, Shepard.
Do not panic when putting on the sunglasses. It's time for our first interpretation. Couldn't get on. So, dang it. Why?